G'day Pickleball family. First thing to know, as shared on the dinkpickleball.com, Johnson and Fraser fend off the APP's best in $50,000 showcase. The Lone Palm Golf Club celebrated a $16 million pickleball renovation by hosting one of the biggest Moneyball tournaments in pickleball history. The $50,000 Pro Play Showcase brought in the best pickleball players in the world for a one-day event. A special thanks goes out to All Florida Pickleball and the Swamp Pickleball Club for the production of the event. The day started with two packed draws, men's doubles and women's doubles. In women's doubles, the women's draw featured some of the top ladies in the game. We're talking Simone Jardim, Anna Bright, Andrea Coop, Leah Jansen, and Georgia Johnson and Hurricane Tyra Black. The bottom half of the draw, however, saw two APP strongholds. Megan Fudge and Susanna Barr reached the semi-final. Their opponent were two lesser-known players that have been making noise in recent months, Tina Pisnik and Tammy Emrich. Team Fudge Bar has seen these two before and took care of business like they do on tour. They advanced to play in the women's final for a chance at a $9,000 prize. MLP champs Anna Bright and Rachel Rohrbacher faced off against Hurricane Tyra Black and Leah Jansen in the other women's semi-final. It was a three-game slugfest that ended 11-7, 9-11, 11-1 in favour of the ladies of the Orlando Squeeze. Bright and Rohrbacher rolled into the finals and directly through Megan Fudge and Susanna Barr to bring home the women's title. In men's doubles, the men's draw was packed with talent too. It featured another star-studded matchup in the semi-final. J.W. Johnson and Dylan Frazier versus Federico Staxrud and Pablo Tellez. Johnson and Frazier outlasted and outdinked Staxrud and Tellez to reach the finals. Their finals opponent was the six-time APP Tour champion team of Rob Nunnery and Andre Diescu. Diescu and Nunnery have cleaned up on the APP Tour this year. But the question remained, where would they rank in APPA Tour draw? On the It Feels Right podcast, Nunnery suggested the duo is a top five team. Their run yesterday helped make the case. Diescu and Nunnery knocked out Zane Navratil and Rafa Hewitt in the quarterfinals and Christian Olshon and Martin Emrich in the semis. In the final, they went 3 games with Johnson and Frazier and were inches away from the title. They had a 10-6 lead in Game 3 and all of the momentum in the world. Nerves got a little tight with the game on the line and the young guns rallied back. Johnson and Frazier stole the match right from the midst of Diescu and Nunnery with a thrilling 11-7, 7-11, 13-11 finish. Second thing to know, as shared on pickleballunion.com, tennis great Ivan Lendl prowling the pickleball courts in time-honoured fashion. In the 1980s, Ivan Lendl strode the tennis courts of the world like a colossus. His style of play wasn't as easy on the eye as, say, John McEnroe's, but he possessed a focused, almost machine-like ability to outlast opponents, usually from the baseline. However, encountering the 63-year-old legend today reveals a different picture. He appears thicker around the midriff and greyer too. Most strikingly, he actually exhibits occasional moments of levity, including a smile. Yet delve into his newfound passion for pickleball and it becomes evident that Lendl of yesteryear is still very much present. When asked about it, he states, let's put it this way, you don't really know me, but know that when I do something, I do it 100%. So to consider pickleball merely a hobby for him would be a misconception. Less than a year after picking up a paddle for the first time, Lendl is already participating in tournaments, recently earning third place in the 5.0 men's doubles 40 and over division at the Pictona Open alongside his instructor, Alex Marbred. The fact that he's competing in the 40 and over category, even at 63, speaks volumes about his enduring athletic prowess. Marbred acknowledges that Lendl's reflexes remain sharp as ever, a testament to a tennis career that boasted an impressive 94 singles titles, 8 majors, and 270 weeks as the world's top-ranked player. Lendl, a resident of Vero Beach, initially tried pickleball last November at the urging of his daughter Isabel, who wanted him to join her regular group. He remarks, "She wants me to play some tournaments with her, so I said, if I'm going to play tournaments with you, I have to practice a little bit." However, knowing Lendl's history, a little bit of practice is a relative term. His excellence in tennis was forged through rigorous training, a studious approach, and an unwavering drive to maximise every physical and mental advantage. After chronic back issues forced him to retire from tennis at 34, he redirected his focus to another passion, golf. Although he didn't quite reach the highest echelons of the game, his dedication transformed him from a proficient player to a scratch golfer. Even now, years later, he remains a regular on the golf course and practice facilities. However, his time on the pickleball court has also become a significant addition to his routine. Interestingly, he points out that it has even had a positive impact on his golf game, providing a different kind of physical conditioning. Lendl attributes his ability to balance both sports to the resilience of his body, reinforced by hip replacements several years ago. Pickleball, while less strenuous than tennis, still provides a substantial workout. He emphasises, "When I started playing, I realised it's good exercise. My body was hurting, but then I started getting better, started getting used to it." His analytical nature extends to his approach to the two sports. He carefully plans his schedule to allow for consecutive days of play, alternating between pickleball and golf. Additionally, he dedicates part of one day each week to pickleball drills, focusing on finesse shots and short game skills. Watching Lendl in action, it becomes evident that his hand-eye coordination is as sharp as ever, showcasing the skills of an athlete from a different league. He admits that while he's proficient at the subtle art of dinking, he prefers the more intense exchanges on the court. Above all, Lendl's competitive spirit remains undiminished. He recounts a story involving his friend and fellow pickleballer, ex-Florida Panthers coach Joel Quenneville, where a comment about not being able to win them all served as motivation for Lendl to do just that in their next match. And there you have it. That's the measure of the man and the enduring sharpness of his mental reflexes. And if you're finding this video helpful, please be sure to dink that like button. Third thing to know, as shared on pickleball52.com, English Nationals 2023 men's singles preview. Pickleball 52 looks ahead to this weekend's English Nationals at Bolton Arena and assesses the top three men's singles contenders. Lewis Laville, the favourite for the men's draw, will of course be Lewis Laville. Lewis is the reigning champion at the English Nationals and will be looking to retain his title this year. Lewis is ranked #1 for men's singles, men's doubles and the mixed doubles. The 28-year-old is the highest ranked European player by some distance, sitting at 12,150 points according to the Pro Kennex global rankings. He is also currently ranked second in the world. The gap to the second highest ranked player is 3,950 points, and the ranking dominance is reflected in the form book. Lewis has won 3 of the 4 major events he has played within the last year, including wins in the Belgian Open and European Open. His only loss in this period came in the round of 16 at the World Pickleball Championships, failing 15-13 to a tough opponent, Jeffrey Warunda. It would be something of a shock if Lewis did not retain his title this weekend in Bolton, but this is likely to be a much tougher test than it was last year, as the standard across the country continues to improve at a rapid pace. Freddie Powell pushed Lewis hard last year and will hope to go on to better this time around. Ranked 3rd in the UK and 7th in Europe, Freddie is an exceptional player with a phenomenal backhand. He reached the quarterfinals of the European Open in February this year, ultimately falling 19-17 to Carlos de Salto Capilla. Last year, he reached the final of the English Nationals, where he, of course, faced Lewis Laville. After taking the first game 11-7, he succumbed after losing the next two 11-8, 11-4. Freddie has proved over the years that he absolutely belongs in the conversation with the top European players. So could this be the year he makes that breakthrough and wins the Nationals? Only time will tell. Beating Lewis will be far from easy, but his showing in last year's final proves he is not a million miles away. 32-year-old James Chowdhury is the 5th highest ranked UK player and the 15th ranked player in Europe. James proved his talents with an impressive showing in the 2023 European Pickleball Open, reaching the semi-finals before being beaten by Carlos de Soto Capilla, who had just beaten Freddie Powell in the quarterfinals, before losing to Luis Laville in the final. James, unfortunately, also lost in the third-place playoff, falling to Marcelo Paiva. Despite these tough losses, this performance proved he is right amongst the best in the continent. If he can replicate this kind of stellar form, he could well be a dark horse for the national this year. Paddles up.